Wait a second. Okay, I'm recording. Anytime you want me to stop, you can just let me know. So today I'll be taking notes, just to write down some key points about what we talk about today. At any time, you can have access to those notes. Is that okay with you?
Of course.
Okay, so hello. What is your name?
My name is Victoria Faluco.
Okay, Victoria, I'm Jada. I'm going to be interviewing you today. We're just going to talk about some basic conflict or hard decision that you're currently facing or have experienced.
All right.
So, what would you say is a hard decision or conflict that you are currently facing?
So right now I'm kind of debating whether or not to so I'm graduating right now, like not right this second, but in December I was supposed to graduate. So I have the two options. I can either start my clinical mental health counseling program in the spring, either because there are rolling basis applications, which is nice, but I would have to pay out of pocket. Whereas if I wait to go to the fall, I could try to get a GA position, which is I have a good resume, so hopefully I have a better chance of getting that position that'll pay for an apartment, your education, and a stipend. So I'm kind of debating whether or not do I want to wait. The whole goal to graduate early was to continue early, but
Hmm.
I could always just take a break and like focus or take a job. I'm not sure.
Okay, so what did you initially want to do? Like, you said that the whole goal was to be able to start um, back to school early, right?
Yeah.
So, why was that your initial goal?
Well, I don't like big breaks. I figured if I'm gonna look back 2 years now and say, oh, I could have started a month early, like a semester earlier, and I have one semester left, like it'd just be like motivation to like be done already versus like, oh, I have one more semester left when I could have like done it already. So I don't know.
So,
But
like,
money so could yeah.
so money, the money
Hmm.
situation plays a role in the decision also.
Yeah.
And why is that? Because one position is paying you, the other you're paying.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can clearly see which one is more appealing to you.
Yeah, the getting paid and a free apartment, like that's so nice.
That is
So
really nice. And where would this be at?
so I
What
have
position?
2 to 3 options. My top choice is Kent State because they have like the best program that I found.
Hmm.
Akron U would be my second choice, and then CSU reached out and they thought that we would be a good match for CSU, so possibly CSU. But number one choice is Kent. So
And when you were graduating, where did you see yourself going before like you had any of these options?
probably Kent State. That's like the main. Yeah, I've like pictured myself there, so probably Kent.
Okay, so what are your goals with like either option that you choose? So let's start with the first one. If you were to start your clinical program in the spring, what are your goals with that?
If I start in the spring, um, there'd be like one problem that kind of pops up is how do I pay for it? Because I know you can get like student loans and stuff, but sometimes it doesn't cover it all. So if I don't work, a lot of the times they don't suggest you work a full time job when you're in like the master's program because it's kind of like fast paced. Like the first year is all like educational stuff.
Hmm.
So I guess that'd be a goal, like the educational portion of it for the first like 2 semesters, and then the last like year and a half is more of like the practicums and like the internships and all that. So it's kind of like a fast paced, because it's 2.5 years, so it's kind of fast paced. So trying to figure out how to like, do I want like how am I gonna pay? So that's like a problem. So I
Right.
guess my goal would be like make money while in school, but then if the schoolwork is so much, then like I won't be able to like work a full time. Maybe not even like a part time. It might have to be. I would guess it'd be part time, but like not like 20 hours. It'd probably be like 15, 10. That's like no money. So it's like
Right. And how would that make you
Probably.
feel having to like juggle having a job while you're like in graduate school?
I feel like it'd be really hard. I mean, I would probably live at home then, which is fine because I'm at home right now. But I think if it would lessen the stress if I had my own income, because then I wouldn't have to rely on like my mom or my sisters to like pay for
Right.
things. I should be able to pay for myself because I'm 21. Like I should be able to pay for these things. So I think that would just be a stressor.
hmm And what about with this? You said a GA position, right?
hmm
Okay, what are your goals if you were to choose that option?
Well, I would hopefully. So I've been dating my boyfriend for almost 4 years now, and
hmm
he said by the end of 2021 there might be an engagement. So that's kind of cool. So that'd be a goal, but that's just a whole nother goal. But for educational goals, um, I would say I feel like it would just give me like broaden my skills if I do have a GA position because that's a graduate assistant position. You can do so much with that. You can either be like you can assist like the professors. Even some programs they have you like teach a class. So I think it just depends like which program I go into, what goals they would have me do. But I think
hmm
just not just sitting there and not adding to like my skills. I feel like I have to do something. I can't just sit there and just like learn because throughout my time at Hiram, I like did so much. I had so many jobs and like I was involved in so many things that if I
hmm
just go and just kind of just do class, it's like what's going on. So I think that would be a goal. Is like if I don't get the position and if I start in the spring versus the fall,
hmm
um, to like find something to do along with it to broaden my skills, whether it's like time management or something. So I don't know if I answered the question. I
So is
think
that like reflecting back on the clinical program? If you had started the clinical program,
hmm
you would try to find other things to broaden your skills.
yes.
Okay, and then back to the GA position. So, what other goals do you have with that?
Um, building a relationship with whatever, I guess like if it was with a professor, build that relationship with a professor or the supervisor, whoever would be above me, kind of build a relationship with them. So then they would
hmm
be a good not like a resource to look back on and a good person to give it's all about the recommendations in the future. So maybe you give a good recommendation in the future if you do a good job with them. So I really like building relationships with people, so I think it's important to like that'd be a main goal. It's like and build relationships with my classmates too as well, if that's
And
possible.
what do you think the positive aspects of building relationships with those type of people are?
Like I said, the good recommendations, they're also older than you, so they probably have better advice and like can lead you in a better like direction on where to go because they have experienced most likely they have experienced like a lot of things in their life that help them get to the way that they are. So
hmm
they can give you better advice than someone maybe the same age as you, possibly.
Right. Okay, so what I'm hearing is with the clinical program, if you were to do that starting out in the spring, you would kind of have like it would be more fast paced for you. You would have to deal with more of a payment
hmm
solution, either find loans or find some type of way to pay it, probably with a job while working. Um, it would be more hard for you, but also while you want to juggle having a job and being in school, you also said you want to broaden your skills and do something else. So that sounds like it's going to be like a lot of multitasking going on there. For the GA position, um, you said there's a possible engagement if you go that route the new year. You can broaden your skills over there also. You also want to focus on building relationships with professors and classmates and also look out for those recommendations which seem important. So if we were to like set this a few months ahead, we're already in the spring. um let's say you pick the clinical program, how do you see that playing out or going if
For
you
the
were to
spring,
start that route? Yeah.
I feel like one, it would probably start online, which is probably what's the fall one's gonna start like, which will be a little different. So I probably would be at home anyways.
hmm
So probably wouldn't the living in my own apartment probably it'd be nice and all, but it probably wouldn't like determine because why would I live on campus unless it's free? I mean, it's nice, but but I feel like I would just go about the regular. I would try to find a job that would pay good money for like less hours.
So you're
really,
still finding that job.
yeah, because I don't think financially my whole family can just like put an arm and a leg towards school for me. So I have to find. Hopefully they have scholarships. So that's how I went through Hiram, like scholarships. So hopefully, which it's a college, so it will have scholarships and then loans, which aren't fun to deal with. But so then if it covers it, then I won't have to worry about a job. But 9 out of 10 times I'd need a job probably, which would be stressful, causing more stress. But yeah.
Okay, so let's say a few months ahead you pick this GA position. How do you see that playing out?
Oh, that would be wonderful. I feel like I wouldn't have to worry about a job, but then I would still have responsibilities to uphold through that position. But I would also feel more independent on my own because of the apartment. But then I'd also feel financially stable because they'd be giving me a stipend, and school would be paid. So it'd just be like a whole weight lifted off my shoulders. But then the downside to that one is looking in the future. If I have 1 month left, I could have been like, wow, I could have started a couple months earlier and been done by now, where I have one more semester or whatever to go. So then there's that. So I don't know.
Okay, so when we're looking at that, the clinical program, I if you want to call this a positive, it would be starting online, so you're still at home. Would that be a positive for you?
Yeah, because then I wouldn't have to pay for like an apartment. So that's nice.
Okay, so you don't have to pay for an apartment, so that's a little off the financial side because you already said that choosing that option would be a little financial strain for you and your family. You would say you would have to find another job, but you still sound excited about being able to start early in the spring for that option. Okay, for the GA position, what I'm hearing is that I can see in your face when you say wonderful. That's really something that excites you, that possibility. You wouldn't have to work a job, so that's a little stress off your shoulders. You would still have responsibilities, but that's what comes with that role. You said you would feel more independent and stable, especially having your own apartment. So for those positive aspects that I went through, and you reflecting back, what kind of action do you think you would take in this decision making?
Oh, girl.
Just curious, based off of those like positive and like downsides that I mentioned.
Probably the fall one, because I'd gain my skills additionally to learning about clinical counseling, because I'd have that GA position, and then
so the GA position.
Yeah, the fall one. So that'd be really nice. The only reason I'm not doing it in the spring, like if I do decide, if they had a GA position open for the spring, I'd be set. But because this is like not the option, and they don't have them in the summer right now either. They said they'll have they're full. A lot of people are graduating, so they're gonna have a bunch of positions open in the fall. So that's like the main. Yeah.
So this decision still helps you to get those opportunities, build relationships with professors. Aren't you getting paid with that position?
Yeah.
Okay, and so you're still stable, and then once you get done doing all that and having that experience, you still in the fall would go and get through the clinical program that you wanted to, just not as soon as you hoped to do.
Yeah,
so basically.
So like in the spring, I would start the clinical program as with a GA position, but they don't have those positions. So it would just be like the regular program without like the GA position. Did I explain that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, deciding with going with that decision, you can still accomplish both in a sense.
Yeah.
So, would you say that was the better option out of the two?
Probably.
Looking at it.
Yeah.
So in today's summary, we went over the positives and the negatives of choosing between the clinical program in the spring or starting the GA position, and then later on following to go into the clinical program. And it seems like you're more passionate about the GA position.
Mhm.
I can see in your facial expressions that kind of gains more excitement. And I feel like that gives you a little bit more opportunities and experience also, while also you
Mhm.
have a sense of feeling stable and independent while having that position. Um, so I hope I helped you in making this decision today. Does everything that I summarized sound about right to you?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, thank you for meeting with me.
Well, thank you.